What's up everyone, and welcome back to Nexus. When it comes to prehistoric monsters, the Tyrannosaurus Rex is the king of the land, but the Megalodon was the king of the sea, an enormous great white shark which could grow to be 60 feet long and weigh the same as a bus. And the only fossils we have to prove its existence are its gigantic, razor-sharp teeth. But there are people out there who believe that the Megalodon is still the apex predator of the Earth's oceans. Watch this video to find out the top 5 Megalodons caught on camera. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get new content similar to this every day. Also make sure to comment down below letting us know which number on this list was your favorite. And for this video, let's aim for that golden like button, which is 1,000 likes, so make sure to drop a like down below. Number 5. Out in the Sea of Cortez, which is in the Baja California Peninsula on the Mexican coast, a monster is said to lurk. This creature is called the Black Demon and has been reported by locals many times over the last few decades. It's said to be a huge black shark which had frequently attacked boats and left animal carcasses ripped to pieces with impossibly huge bite marks taken out of them. One fisherman even said that once, when he was taking the same route around the bay that he'd taken his whole life, his boat was attacked by this monster. On the one hand, the stories probably have some truth to them, because the Sea of Cortez is an area with a wide-ranging ecosystem and a large shark and whale population, so it's not too crazy to believe that these people have been attacked by something. But whether this something was a long-extinct Megalodon, that's another story. And no matter how many research crews have been sent out into the bay over the years, nobody has ever actually found this shark or any evidence for it. The main theories are that people are seeing the results of killer whale and great white shark attacks on the seal population, but that they're getting this confused with whale shark sightings because whale sharks are huge, though they only really eat krill and plankton. Alternatively, people think it could be just an abnormally large great white shark with melanism, which is the opposite of albinism in that it would make the shark unnaturally dark and scary. But considering there have only been 2 fatal shark attacks in the Sea of Cortez since 1932, it's probably safe enough. Though the way the seals and sea lions behave, avoiding the deep waters, could attest to the fact that there might be something hiding out there somewhere.
Experts believe these creatures went extinct 1.5 million years ago.
So if they were surviving today, they would have at least survived 2 million years ago in the deposits that are preserved here in San Diego. So the fact that we don't find them is additional evidence that they're no longer here, that they're extinct.
The only remains to ever be found of the Megalodon are its massive teeth, 3 to 4 times the size of a great white.
Number 4. On April 5th, 2013, a fishing boat caught some terrifying footage while on a routine voyage of the coast of South Africa. The boat was chartered by some tourists out there to try their hand at fishing. Though this couldn't have been well advised because it definitely looks like there's a storm approaching throughout the footage. They document their trip through a video camera as the storm in the night begins to close in, but things get sinister when one of the fishing lines breaks. Then the footage gets incredibly jerky and we can't really see what's going on, only that the impending storm has really picked up and it's pouring with rain. The Cape Town News reported the following day that they were sailing in close proximity to mating whales and that a whale had breached over the top of the boat and sank it. However, you won't be surprised to know that this footage isn't real, which becomes kind of obvious when the documentary gets to the end and says the bodies of the people on the ship were never found, and yet their camera was, with most of the footage intact, despite the boat being torn to pieces and sunk to the bottom of the bay. It's kind of convincing for the most part though, but would obviously have been more convincing if they actually got the shark on camera, or if any of them have mentioned seeing a shark, which they don't. And honestly, maybe they just shouldn't have gone out sailing when the weather was so awful. This documentary was released during 2013 Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, and everything about it was completely fake, including the existence of this shark allegedly called Submarine. Somehow they tried to defend their decision to release a fake documentary though.
What the hell was that?
Number 3. We're again in 2013, which makes you wonder if it was a huge year for Megalodons announcing their existence to the world. Except if you thought that the last video was convincing, this one is even less so. It's supposedly a Megalodon attacking a whale, and was taken around November of that year. We see a whale swimming on the surface of the water, like whales do, But then out of nowhere, a way bigger creature lunges out of the water and grabs it around the middle with its huge jaws. It then drags the whale back into the sea with it and disappears from sight. But clearly, this clip was made by someone who doesn't know anything about sharks or marine life. For a start, the way the shark descends backwards into the water is impossible. Sharks can't swim backwards, or water will enter their gills and they'll drown. Second, it seems crazy that a whale wouldn't notice a shark the same size as it swimming around the same part of the water. You'd think the whale would try to swim away as fast as possible and maybe find the rest of its pod, because no shark is really going to mess with a dozen enormous whales. Thirdly, the whale just falls limp as soon as the shark grabs it, as though it has died immediately upon being bitten, which isn't what would happen at all. It would at least put up a fight and start thrashing around, and might even be able to break free. It's also been pointed out that the image of the shark being used is an edited picture of a tiger shark, and that no shark can move anywhere near as quickly as the one in this video. It would maybe work in a bootleg horror movie, but not when someone is trying to claim that it's genuine footage. Number 2. The exact same Discovery Channel documentary I already mentioned had more than one fake shark sighting in it, designed to look and feel like genuine footage. This clip comes from a Coast Guard in Brazil, and an ordinary CCTV camera attached to the boat. The angle of the camera allows pretty good aerial footage as a group of men look over the edge into the ocean, where it looks like one of their colleagues may have fallen in. It's about 10 seconds of this guy trying to get back into the boat, and it's a blink and you'll miss it type of deal. Conveniently, there's a close-up slow motion replay of what we can see to be a gigantic, hulking mass moving just below the surface. In previous expeditions to try and find proof of the Megalodon, they've utilized aerial photography to see if there's anything hiding out of view of any boats. And this method almost found the shark allegedly living in the Sea of Cortez, but we can't really see anything. It's impossible to rule out whether this is another whale or some other large sea creature. But more likely than not, it's a bad special effects job that looks more like the boat's own shadow than any prehistoric monsters. Ever since this documentary aired, people have been up in arms about the Discovery Channel's treatment of the Megalodon myth, probably because so many people believe that it might be possible for the shark to be still alive somewhere in the ocean. In fact, only 6% of people in an ongoing poll said that they believe outright that the shark does not exist. People feel conned by the Discovery Channel for pulling this stunt, especially when there's so many good, real theories about the Megalodon and the possibility of its continued existence. Honorable mention. This video was allegedly taken in Chile by someone using an underwater camera, and in the background you see a shadowy shape drift past. Some marine biologists say that using principles developed for aerial photography, they managed to measure the different body parts and estimate that this creature was over 62 feet long, an entire 3 feet longer than even the maximum estimated Megalodon. It's almost convincing were it not part of the same controversial Discovery Channel documentary. Number 1. We've talked about how lots of Megalodon sightings are passed off as just being abnormally large great white sharks, but how big do great white sharks really get? Especially considering they are direct descendants of Megalodons. Well, there's one shark out there called Deep Blue which definitely exists. This is a female shark who lives around Mexico, not unlike the shark said to inhabit the Sea of Cortez, and is recognizable by her enormous size and distinctive scars. She was filmed by a group of divers while they were in a cage dive, coming over to investigate them. This shark is huge, over 7 meters long or 20 feet, and in the footage she can be seen trying to take a bite out their cage. The diver who shot the footage said that the dive was actually very peaceful though, and that Deep Blue is a very graceful animal, swimming around them curiously and not really making any aggressive moves, aside from her one attempt to chew their cage. At the time she showed up, one of the divers wasn't even in the cage and had to quickly get back inside to avoid her. Though when she bites, he can be seen pushing on one of her fins to get her to move back. That's a pretty brave move to be so close to this shark and show so little fear. But I guess there's a reason why shark attacks are actually a lot rarer than people think. Sharks, even ones of this size, will almost never attack humans unprovoked. What's scary though is that the smallest estimated Megalodon is 40 feet in length, so that's at least twice the size of even the biggest great white shark ever recorded.
She was very calm, not at all nervous, and she was just doing her circles around us. She was very interested in us and has been really looking at us. During her circles, we realized how big she was. She must have been something around 7 meters. We had a very long, beautiful dive with her, and when we all came back to the boat, we've been all very much enthusiastic about this encounter.
That was our list of the top 5 Megalodons caught on camera and spotted in real life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a video in the future. Hit the like button too so we hit the golden like of 1,000. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace!